Guys, what a game. The Knicks and the Celtics delivered an absolute classic. I don't even know where to start. Knicks come out with a win in overtime, thoroughly deserved. Absolutely amazing performances from all of their key players, namely Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. All four of them were absolutely fantastic. The whole team, I've got to give props to. The Celtics will have their work cut out for them if they're not able to build and sustain a lead. So we're going to get all into it. Firstly, I want to say and talk about how the Knicks came out very competitive, very dialed in terms of their defense. Seemed like they were here to, fully commit to the effort and to the cause, and that's exactly what they would need. We know in the previous four meetings with these two teams that the Knicks have not fared very well. They have not won any of those last four meetings. They're 0-4 and they've lost those combined on an average of 16 points, if I'm not mistaken. That's a big disadvantage to have going into a matchup against one of, if not the best team in the NBA. They are the defending champions. They have the track record now to show and say that what they do and what they distribute and implement on the court can result in winning. We don't know about the Knicks yet, but this game, if they are able to fully commit to their defense, they have a closer in Jalen Brunson. They have stout defenders in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. And listen, like I said, we're going to get all into it. Firstly, as I mentioned, the defense from the Knicks in the beginning, absolutely amazing. In the second quarter, I was expecting a lot more of the same, going essentially blow for blow. That wasn't the case. The Celtics were absolutely amazing in that second quarter. Ran out, if I'm just going to check my notes here, 35 points in the second quarter. Great performance from them. Were held to just 20 points. And in that period of time, you saw what the Celtics are the best at. The ball movement was flowing. There was multiple contributors in the team. If it wasn't Tatum, it was Brown. If it wasn't Brown, it was Horford. If it wasn't Horford, it was White. There was a contribution from each and every component of the team. And that's when the Celtics are the best. Do not get it twisted. They have Jason Tatum, they have Jalen Brown, but their team dynamic is what makes them so good. And we're going to get into that more. As the game went into the second half, you saw the Knicks slowly but surely will themselves into the game. And I was very impressed. It wasn't a couple of possessions here and there. For the most part, it was consistent defensive effort against the Celtics. And I don't think the Celtics were firing on all cylinders, don't get me wrong. However, the Knicks were there to play, and what they finally got with their defense was timely shots, was really effective shot making from Jalen Brunson, who carried the bulk of the effort from a offensive side, but he was matched and he was there accompanied by the long range shooting of OG Anunoby. Absolutely fantastic. He was a pillar for the Knicks, and without his shooting, they do not win this game. I tell you that now. So I'm going to get into my notes here. I'm going to cover some key pieces with you guys and just go through some of my thoughts. Jason Tatum, absolutely amazing player. There's not much on a basketball court he cannot do. And these are players who are blessed with crazy amounts of ability and also crazy work ethic. You do not become to the level of Jason Tatum by not having a great work ethic and not having natural skills and abilities. The problem I had with Jason Tatum is that I felt like he settled a lot. He settled a lot on the chances that he had to score. And this was before the fourth quarter. This was in the third quarter, second half onwards. It seemed like he was looking for that perfect shot. He was relying on his jump shooting. And this is a problem I've said before with Jason Tatum. You're 6'8", 6'9". You're a big guy. You are strong as well. Go to the hole. Yes, you're looking for your perfect shot and your Kobe shot, but this is the time for you to shine. And I feel like he had the ability to go to the hole and he just didn't take it. And he settled a number of times. Also, I don't think he was the closer that they needed. He was not the closer that the Celtics needed. And this is a bigger problem with the Celtics. Your team basketball is what makes you the team that you are. When you spread the ball around, you cannot hit the amount of threes and at the percentage that the Celtics hit it at if you don't play team basketball. They play team basketball. The ball movement is amazing. But when they get to the end of games, and it was a problem when they had Brad Stevens, it's a problem now, it becomes hero ball. And it will likely always be hero ball when we get to the end of major playoff games, because it's about matchups, it's about getting to your spots, it's about getting the right person on you. And I think with Jason Tatum, they managed that on a number of occasions, but it wasn't enough. And I just feel like when they get to the end of those games, there needs to be a way of getting more of the team involved. It can't just be, okay, Jason, take us with your jump shooting, because that's settling on a number of occasions, and he has the ability to do a lot more. So I would say he wasn't the closer that they needed. They had multiple opportunities where he was in position to either get them back in position to strike, or take them into the distance, and he wasn't able to do that. Jalen Brunson, so cold. The guy is so cold. He has ability in abundance. He's a smaller guy, yes, but that does not deter him. That does not stop him. He is a big shot maker, big shot taker. And listen, when he makes them and the crowd start getting hyped and his bench gets hyped, you can see why a lot of people were saying he is a 1A. He was a 1A. And listen, super impressed with him and his performance. One thing I'll call out is the defense by Drew Holiday. Sensational, absolutely sensational. Yes, Brunson was able to get to his spots, but Drew made him work. And a lot of times, towards the end of the game, Brunson was struggling. Drew was absolutely amazing. There was times where he was refusing to be switched on because Brunson wanted to get Horford on him. That was it's looking pretty much automatic for majority of the chances that Brunson had. However, yeah, Drew was an absolute dog. Him and Derek White, I think, are some major catalysts that deserve some attention in the Celtics game plan, because they can be the difference for the Celtics. They can absolutely be the difference. And I think they are what may set apart the two teams in terms of you got the amazing wings in New York. You've got the amazing wings in Boston, but the perimeter defense that you can get from those guards is something, yeah, something very dangerous, and the Knicks will have to deal with that in due course. OG Anunoby, we've spoken about already, shooting lights out, absolutely amazing performance, showed his quality, showed what he's made of. He's not just a defender, he has grown his offensive game exponentially. There was one shot he took, believe in overtime, where he came inside and shot it. I was just like, no, keep shooting that free, keep shooting the rock. You're doing an absolutely amazing job. Brunson, yeah, as you mentioned, missed the game winner. Bridges was an ever present. He was absolutely amazing with 2 steals, 1 block to end the game, a 3-pointer, which was absolutely clutch. And he played 50 of the 52 minutes or something of the game. Work rate, Iron Man of the NBA, proven once again. And again, he deserves his accolades. They won't always show up on the stat sheet through that very briefly, but listen, he was there to play. He was there to ball. As mentioned, yeah, he had a clutch steal. OG had an and one, which was, listen, very good. Tatum, again, another note for him, he needs to up his aggression. There needs to be a level of aggression when it comes to winning this series, and he needs to have that. If the Celtics want to win this series and he wants to be the man to win them that series, he needs to be a lot more aggressive than he has been in game one. I've also got here in my notes for Horford that Horford may be a bit of a detrimental presence for the Celtics, and that's nothing to do with his performance or his effort. It's just because of those matchups. You've got the crazy rebounding ability of Josh Hart. You've got the amazing wings of OG and Bridges. You then got a one big, which is Cat, and then you've got Brunson, and so they're obviously going to continue to attack Horford. Horford wasn't doing an awful job, but again, it's something that the Celtics are going to need to look at, especially with KP being out. How much focus will the Knicks put on getting him in those actions, wearing him down? I think he was very effective, but that's something that we need to look out for future games. Brunson with some clutch defense at the end against Tatum. Again, Tatum settling, which I think I think he needs to be a lot more aggressive. As mentioned, we've already spoken about the big three from Bridges towards the end of the game. The Celtics, I've spoken about it already. Ball movement needs to be there. If they're not moving the ball in the clutch, they're gonna have a problem. Cat with a big tip in towards the end of the game that kept the momentum after I believe Tatum got 2 points in OT. Drew Holiday, I've spoken about him already. I'll just say one more time, he's a winner. He's an absolute winner. He's a dog. He's got a fight in him that the Knicks are going to have to take out. But if I'm any contending team, I don't know how long Drew is going to have the powers that he has now, but for as long as he has them, I would want him on my squad. And yeah, Bridges, that still at the end was big man still. He literally grabbed the ball from Jalen Brown and said, "Give me that." And he took it and he won the game for the Knicks. We're going to quickly just go over the numbers very, very briefly, see if there's anything just to shout about. Firstly, looking at the Boston Celtics, I would say the shooting splits look fine. Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum getting up over 20 shots. Obviously, losing KP is a massive blow. The illness that took him out of this game, we hope doesn't take him out for much more of the series. If we look at the 3-point shooting, this is where I really want to talk about the level of poor shooting from the Boston Celtics. As you can see, Jason Tatum 4 for 15, Derek White 5 for 16. This is what I was talking about when I was saying settling. There's a point within this shooting spell from both of these, and I'll say team wise, probably would expect a little bit more from the team. And as mentioned, 3-point shooting 25%. Um, not great at all. When you look at the Knicks, they actually shot 45%, definitely shot a lot less in terms of volume, but that was perfect for the playoffs and perfect for their team execution. We've already spoken about OG Anunoby, his performance as well. Absolutely incredible. So impressed by him. 29 points. Jalen Brunson, 29 points. Also, what you won't see in the stat sheet is how good Mikal Bridges was, but he played 51 minutes throughout the whole game. Absolutely incredible. Josh Hart, again, we've already spoken about his rebounding and defensive efforts were commendable. A quick shout out for Miles McBride, again, absolutely amazing. Mitchell Robertson, they started doing hack a Robertson, and he only hit 3 of his 10 free throws. He's going to have to be a lot better. He's going to have to be a lot better in executing the opportunities which are presented to him. Otherwise, he's not going to see the floor for much of this series. And I think he's going to want to see the floor, especially if KP comes back and Horford is going to be fit and available as well. OT in the first game leaves a lot to be expected for the rest of the series. Let me know who you think's got it and who your player of the game was. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.